All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, going to shout out the sponsors here, Sovereign Extracts. You can check out some great CBD oils, also a variety of cartridges that are THC, CBD, some hybrid options as well, and also a shout out to USG Canada, putting out some great apparel for boxers, MMA fighters, and for fans alike. And on this show, talking to an individual coming off of a big win at Submission Underground 16 that just went down a few days ago out there in Portland, Oregon. I'm talking to Nick Maximov. How's your day going so far there, Nick?
Doing good, doing good. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Appreciate you asking about that. But yeah, it looked like you got quite the good victory there. You ended up submitting Colton Vaughn. I'm kind of curious, though. I mean, obviously you got the desired outcome, but did your opponent bring anything different to the table than, what your preconceived notion was?
No, I didn't know a whole lot about him. I knew he actually looked like a leg lock guy from what I saw. He's pretty strong, pretty heavy, and just kind of had a good, base and everything. But, yeah, I just got a little funky with everything and got it, the win. I didn't know how I was going to win. I thought I was going to do like a guillotine or something like that, or a triangle. That's what I was kind of going for and shooting for. But leg lock was there, so that was kind of cool to get one of those.
Yeah, and now back-to-back wins under the Submission Underground banner now. Does it feel like you're really developing some traction within the promotion there? Because it seems like you're firing on all cylinders from what I can tell.
Yeah, I'm like 4-2 or 5-2 there. The two guys I lost to were pretty good black belts and stuff, and I'd love to go against them again, just because I've gone. I think I'm only up since I've competed against them, but I've been competing with them for a few years now. But lately, I feel like I've gone a lot better. Even though I lost a few months ago, didn't really have I didn't really train for anything because COVID just happened and California just went crazy on their shutdown, so it was hard to train and whatnot. But I would love to try to get some of those matches back. I think I'm on a good roll right now, and everything's starting to look a lot neater and better, and more fluid.
Yeah, and I was going to ask about that because I'd seen an interview where you were saying the training was obviously dicey for prior Submission Underground outings just with the pandemic and training restrictions. Do you feel like that last fight was more of a, I guess, clear representation of what an optimally prepared Nick Maximov looks like? Was that more of an accurate reflection?
The funny part was, it was, but a week before I was camping all week. I got the call in the middle of the week of me camping with some family, so it's like even that wasn't even an optimal version of me. And the time before that, I was visiting my grandparents for a week on my last Submission Underground, so I really only got to train for a week for that too. So it's like all these matches, I only get like a week and a half notice, 2-week notice, and then I'm only training for like a week because I'm already got something planned. I just say yes just because that's just what am I going to lose from this? I'm only gaining experience. I'm only get more comfortable competing. If I go against someone who hasn't competed in this platform yet, it's like I am head and shoulders above them already, no matter what the rank is, just because of the lights and the people and everything going on. So it's like I just say yes, just because it's like why not? I was literally last week. I was in the middle of freaking nowhere, and I got a call to go do it somehow, and I just said yes right there. So it's just funny. I don't even think it's an optimal me that everyone's seen yet, which is better.
Yeah, well, based on that timeline there, I mean, that would have to like really bolster your confidence and your mental game. I mean, you're coming into these, grappling contests on a week notice, and you're getting great results too. So I imagine just like that sense of getting out there and, being consistent and the results being there as well. I mean, that has to really bolster the mental game a lot.
Well, it's funny, yeah, it does. Going before the match, I'm confident, but I'm not like extremely confident. Like I've been training for this. I'm more like I've heard this cool thing, you turn the nerves into excitement. And so every time I get nervous, I'm like, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. That's what it is. And once you can turn all those nerves, and because a lot of people look at nerves as such a bad thing, and your mental game, and that it can be just so distraught. It can be your biggest uprise or your biggest downfall. So when people look or whatnot, and they ask me, you get nervous, you look so calm today. It's like, because I'm happy and I'm excited. A lot of people look at competing as such a bad thing. Even the professionals, the best of the best. You listen to GSP saying, I hate fighting, I hated it. Like, imagine if you loved it. Be a totally different person. You know, that's just how I look at it. That's how I look at things. So, I
Yeah.
don't know, I've got a little different perspective, but mentally, winning matches like that, it's like I can only imagine how well I would do if I had even 3 weeks of just going hard. You know, 4 weeks. I'm still training. You know, don't get me wrong. I was running every day when I was camping in elevation, but at the same time, it's just different when you can't really grapple, when you can't really do stuff. So, a little bit of a rant there, but yeah, just my philosophy.
No, I mean, I love hearing about that, man. Like, I'm curious when that sort of like period changed for you, like from being like nervous to having like excitable energy. Like you talked about that being something that was imparted upon you. Like when did that all start happening? Like when did you really notice that shift take place?
You know, I noticed it in fighting when probably my first pro fight. I noticed it, and then I noticed it, and then the COVID all hit. Well, then when I started noticing it, I won American Nationals for Jiu-Jitsu for Gi Nogi under IBJJF. Placed at the Worlds. When opinion, I should have won Worlds, but I think it's a really biased and organization. But, you know, whatever. That's a whole different topic. You know, I took third at Worlds. Really big tournament. Really tough tournament. When previous years I would go 0-1 losing by an advantage, by this or that. When I'm like, if I just would have let loose and had fun, I think I would have, you know, won all these matches. And next thing you know, I started having fun and was excited to compete rather than nervous, and I just had different results. Whereas my last submission underground, the one that I lost 2-3 submission undergrounds ago, I remember going in there not even wanting to be there and remembering, like, why, what's wrong? And then I forgot about being happy and excited to be there, getting the chance to compete because no one else can do this, you know? So that was my idea, really. And so I've had it for a while, but, yeah, getting it back again.
Yeah, for sure. Just reconnecting yourself with like what brought you to the dance. I mean, that's so key, man. I mean, in any endeavor, I mean, it's easy to lose that kind of perspective. So glad you're getting reconnected with that.
Well, I think I lost it because of the COVID, and it just messed everything up because I remember just being on a hot streak, being on a roll. Third at Worlds, just won my last fight. Supposed to fight again, then this all hit. And I didn't stop training, you know, but it's like I wasn't training. I was always thinking about it and doing it mentally, but like for the first like few weeks to a month, everyone's like, "What the hell are we doing?" You know, I'd shadow box, I'd do this and that, but I couldn't grapple. I'd wrestle a few times a week, but it was just very. I think you lose all that because it's this whole pandemic going on. It makes you think just more negative than anything. No one thinks positive when all this going on. So when I started to realize, you know, get my mindset different and change everything, all of my results just started changing. All just because of my mindset. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. And obviously the pandemic creating a lot of uncertainty in different ways. And that kind of seems to be the case. And as far as like what your next step in MMA is going to be, like when do you, I guess, foresee like things happening whereby there's a more, I guess, favorable landscape for getting back to MMA? Like what would you, I guess, need to see in the scene for you to feel, I guess, comfortable getting back out there and doing that?
You know, it's just hard right now. For me personally, it's just difficult. I want to fight, you know, I talked to a few promotions in this and that, but it's just a weird time to even say when everything's going to be right and say when I can be fighting again or this or that. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I've been sparring a lot lately. Actually, the past month I've been sparring a lot of MMA and boxing, so it's like I'm ready to fight and I want to fight, but, you know, I just really don't know about this whole fight. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. I see LFA's doing a few things, this and that, but, you know, I don't know what's going on with the whole fighting thing or all that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair, man. That's kind of why I tried to, I guess, phrase the question in that kind of way, because there's just, you know, so much uncertainty out there. But you mentioned like the regularity of sparring in your life nowadays. Like, who are some of the regular people you're sparring with nowadays?
There's a few pro boxers I've been sparring with up in Northern Chico. When I'm in Stockton, there's always a few guys to spar with that are my size. The San Joaquin County, those are super bad for the COVID. They went into another shutdown, so it's like I probably won't be there for a minute. I know, just out of respect to my family and stuff, I'm kind of just staying in Chico. just because if I do, if anyone has it or anyone around me has it or anything, don't want to, just go out to Stockton or whatnot and someone has it, come back to Chico, bring it to everyone. I'm trying to be safer. I'm still training at the gym and stuff, but I think from what I heard, everyone's fine there. No one's in contact with anyone. So yeah, I'm just trying to, when I'm up in Chico, I usually find a few people to spar with and whatnot, but not like my regular training partners, which isn't bad. I'm getting different looks, but yeah, it's just different people now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you gotta do what you can to, navigate the landscape. But to that point, I'm kind of wondering, like, is it just a matter of, like, keeping sharp, and then if you get a call for the next submission underground, you'll take it? Like, are you actively, like, framing out a training schedule to be on the next submission underground, or is it kind of just, like, take it one day at a time and just kind of see what happens?
I do take it one day at a time, but I've been grappling a lot still, still boxing, wrestling, so it's like, 2 days before I went to submission underground, I didn't even do jiu-jitsu. I just boxed. I ran and boxed, pretty much, and sparred. Probably do that. I'm still doing grappling and whatnot, but it almost became more secondhand to me, or natural. Grappling has, and boxing's starting to come along the way, and wrestling still is always there. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I already have my style and I already have what I do, so I'm always just sharpening the tools. I'm always learning new stuff in jiu-jitsu, of course. I'm more just sharpening the tools right now. Trying to stay in shape. A lot of people, you see all these fights and grapplers come in and they look like terrible. But it's like they're good. They possess like this type of power, this type of technique, but they can't do it because they don't have the strength or conditioning. So I'm always just trying to. If I had to box or hit a strength and conditioning workout, it's like I almost do a strength and conditioning workout just in case I get a call. Because sometimes training can just be lackadaisical. No one there. No one really wants to train. It's like when I go on a run or work out, it's like I can do that at my own pace and go as hard as I want. But if I were to spar and these guys don't want to spar, it's like not my fault. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from when you say that, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's just my idea, but training doesn't really change, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's always just the same.
No, that's the way to be, man, for sure. And I kind of thought to ask just because, you were on the card, and it seems like in grappling circles people are talking about this a fair bit. What were your thoughts on the stoppage for the Mason Fowler and Craig Jones match there? It seems like it's rubbing certain people a particular kind of way. I'm wondering if maybe you got to see that, or if you have any thoughts on what transpired there with the, verbal submission call the ref made.
I watched the match, and how I would view it is a lot of people, if even Eddie Bravo said it wasn't good or this and that, and verbal tap or not, I don't know what is technically identified as a verbal tap, in my opinion. Did it look like it was a tap to me? No, but, you always got to trust the referee's gut in that sense, but it's like at the same time, it's just not a call I would have made, personally. Just looked like it was her, and he was just making noise. I make noises all the time when I'm doing grappling, So it's kind of one of those things where it's like that's where I'm, I don't know. I wouldn't say I agreed with it, but at the end of the day, props to Mason, dude. I mean, he won, and the biggest win of his career by far. And it's a cool win to have, but probably not the way he'd want to win. Not the way I'd want to win, but that's life, and it sucks, but.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely don't want to take anything away from, Mason's performance there. And that was a very diplomatic answer, just kind of seeing things from the referee's perspective and just like the competitor insights there and everything. So appreciate you answering that there, man. But you've been really good with your time, too. I'm curious if there's anything you'd like to kind of add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here, though.
No, nothing really. Just thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. It's fun talking, and yeah, getting all that out. I kind of ramble a little bit, but...
No, that's what it's about, man. You're giving me some great insights, and I definitely appreciate that. I like having you on the show and stuff like that. And yeah, look forward to talking again at some point in the future. Great win there at Submission Underground 16 for Nick Maximov over Colton Vaughn. And yeah, just again, thanks for coming on, man, and hope you have a great rest of your day too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You too. Appreciate talking. I'll talk to you soon.